Welcome back to Empower El Mundo.
I am Dorita.
I'm Deanna.
And
we are Blitzo.
Empower. So thanks for watching, you guys. Welcome back for another segment.
We're in a playful mood.
Yeah,
because
we
we're
are.
talking about something that's super cool.
Yeah.
Kids.
Kiddos. And they are so playful. They make us feel youthful at times. But we have to get real about kiddos and mental health and what we can do to support them. Because the biggest reason why we want to focus on this today is because a lot of research is coming out showing that early preventative services are needed to help kiddos live a substantial and more satisfactory life, even if they have a mental health condition. So the sooner that we jump in and we intervene and get them supported and get them connected to the right source of support, the better their lives are going to look like as adults.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's identify what some of those warning signs can be.
Yes.
If you're a parent, if you are someone who aspires to be a parent, this is a video for you.
Yes.
If you are somebody who maybe you don't want to have children, but you know somebody who does.
Yeah, maybe you're an auntie or an uncle or a godparent.
You'll find something in this video that you can benefit from.
If you work with kids, if you were a kid, this should be helpful for you.
Yes. So let's get into it.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
So, 5 warning signs to look out for in children. Long-lasting mood swings.
Yes.
So if they are in extreme highs or extreme lows, typically the time frame is about 30 days that you definitely want to seek professional help.
Yeah.
I like to encourage, if you notice a consistent highs and lows by about 2 weeks, it's really something to be intentional about learning what behaviors you're noticing and maybe what triggers there are as well.
Yes.
The second is excessive fears and worries.
Yes.
Typically this can look like anxiety, extreme anxiety, a lot of like the thoughts of what if this happens, right? So we're really just anxious consistently, or we have fears of doing things. Extreme behavior changes as well.
Oh yeah.
What would be some of those?
The behavior changes typically can look like substance abuse. So we see like alcohol use, cigarette use, marijuana use. Those are some things that, kiddos aren't supposed to be doing that in the first place. So that is a significant concern if you're noticing that. Self-harm. So more of our risky behaviors, self-harm behaviors, suicidal preoccupation, violence and aggression. Or even those subtle behavior changes. So you have an outgoing kid who's now really, really silent, quiet, and withdrawn. We want to recognize even those subtle behavioral changes because they can communicate and say so much to us.
Yeah. The fourth is the physical changes. So if your child is, or maybe a child that you know is getting, they're either experiencing like extreme weight gain or extreme weight loss. That's something to really pay attention to. And then the fifth one that we want to mention is the lack of concentration.
Yes.
So if a child is, like if you're noticing a child is very hyperactive and they have a lot of energy and they can't stay on one subject at a time, or they're like squirrel. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
And that's why I started smiling. It's like so many people complain about kiddos having lack of concentration. And so with kids it's really hard because now is it lack of concentration because of a behavior management issue?
Yes.
Or is it lack of concentration because of something that's a little bit more biological or related to one's chemistry? And with kids it's hard to say that because developmentally their brains aren't finished growing yet. Their brains actually don't finish growing. Puberty ends at 25, 26. Fun fact. So that's why it's so important. The sooner we start, the better off we are as adults.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some of the most common disorders that you will notice, there's 8 that we want to identify today.
Yeah, so the first one is ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. We're starting to see this diagnosed way more. A lot more people are knowledgeable about it. And it's just because we're noticing that we're having much more difficult issues actually managing behaviors of a young child. So ADHD is something that can be treated, just being mindful that that is a more common diagnosis that we're seeing or condition. And another one is anxiety related conditions. So separation anxiety, social anxiety, we have social phobias, so speaking in public, and we tend to see a lot of teenagers struggling with that. So giving a school presentation in front of a crowd typically can be related to social anxiety or phobias. So we start seeing that a lot more with kiddos too.
Yes. Depression is going to be a common one. Bipolar disorder, which is a mood disorder.
Right.
Also, autism. That's going to be one that you'll see pretty frequently and very common within children and adolescents.
Yes.
More so the disorders that you'll experience within teens are going to be like conduct disorder, right? It's conduct disorder. So ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder.
Yes.
It tends to be the most common in teen males, right? Because that's going to be more of a type of disorder that individual acts out aggressively, right? So those are some that you really want to pay attention. Those are some of the disorders you really want to pay attention to and be aware that they do exist, right?
Yes. So what do we need to do? So let's say I'm a parent, I'm the babysitter, I'm the teacher, I'm the after school staff, I am just a person in the community. What do I do if I notice that this kiddo is really struggling and it might be more related to mental health? So one thing that you can do is seek professional assistance. That's the best thing that you can do. If you don't know, trust and believe we're going to know. And if we don't know, it is our due diligence to get you connected to somebody that might know. Okay? We take a lot of pride in getting people connected, and that's one of the reasons why we decided to create this platform. So get connected with a professional as soon as you can.
Yes. And then something else that we can do with just being individuals, you don't even have to be trained, clinically trained as a professional. At home stuff, give words to feelings.
Yes.
Right? Name that emotion. If we're able to identify and put a name to an emotion that we're feeling or an experience that we have, it takes away the shame and it allows it to be more of an acceptable experience for that child.
Yes.
Right? So if you're a parent, it's okay to say anxiety. Were you anxious? Are you feeling depressed? What are you experiencing? Are you feeling aggressive? Like, it's okay to name those things because what happens is the child starts to learn that too.
Yes, they do.
Right? And then identifying what your child's triggers are. And then being able to identify what helps them to cope.
Right? So having that nice balance. Triggers and stressors are normal, so figuring out the things that they enjoy doing, the things that de-stress them, and really emphasizing those. If they're playing sports and that's something that's an incentive for them, then use that. Use it as a motivator. Figure out what they want and also figure out what stresses them out so that they can start noticing those things too.
Yes. Allow them to stick with the things that they love.
Yes.
Right.
And so some coping skills, which are ways to implement certain types of activities or tasks to help de-stress. There's so many of them. And so one of them that tends to be the most beneficial that we see kids really, really liking is art. Big surprise, right? So arts and crafts, painting, any type of beading, that's a part of, that's the crafts piece.
Doing things with their hands.
Playing with Play-Doh or clay. Get them active. Kids are much more physical learners than they are emotional or communicative.
Yes.
So get them doing actual activities that are physical and then giving them those physical rewards in the form of a high five, a hug, a little kiss on the cheek, whatever you do with your little babies. But giving them that type of affection and physical contact. So those are coping skills as well.
Another one is to give them a paper and give them a pencil and a pen. Allow them to write, to tell their story.
Yes.
We all have a story. Sometimes when we're not ready to tell our own story, then we are still able to express that through telling fantasy stories.
That's right.
Or writing about someone else, right? But there's multiple different ways that we can tell stories. And as individuals, we understand things and we process experiences fully when they're told in a full story format.
Comic book style. That's one way to do it. So those are some really, really creative ways. And then the stuff that we know, sports. Deanna and I, we used to be hoopers.
Yes.
Okay? And if anybody's trying to challenge us, you know where to find
Stay
us.
ready.
Stay ready.
Literally.
But with kiddos, if sports are their thing, first off, amazing. Day one.
Always.
But kids like sports too, so use that as a means for them to cope.
Clubs.
Yes.
Chess club.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't like soccer.
Right.
But they like to play checkers, right?
Extracurricular activities. If anything, get them into a routine.
Yeah.
Kids are attracted to structure. They seek out structure. They need structure. And so when you give them something that's predictable, something that they know is going to be happening, it diminishes things like anxiety or the unpredictable, and it gets them prepared. It gets their mindset going so that they know what's going to be happening next.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully this was helpful, you guys.
Consistency and predictability translate as safety.
Yes, it does.
i.e. routine translates as safety.
Yes, it does.
And know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And that rings super true for children, right? So,
Sure does.
we hope this was helpful.
Yes.
If so, please subscribe down below.
Yes.
We will be posting our videos every Wednesday. Sometimes they will upload on Thursday, but every Wednesday night, Thursday morning, you can expect something here.
Yes.
And leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. If there's something you connected to, we want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Share. Yeah.
Share. We're trying to get people connected. That is why we created Empower El Mundo, a platform for mental health professionals, mental health advocates, or individuals in recovery themselves to come out, spread awareness, and share their testimony.
Yes.
So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. We love doing this. We're passionate about it, and we're excited to keep on spreading the good news about Empower El Mundo. Yes.
So remember,
be empowered.
live empowered.